2016 and we haven't changed our minds. My personal Brexit journey started a long time ago. I've been in business for 40 years. I've done business on every continent on earth. I have been involved in international trade throughout my career. In fact, I was on the Single Market Programme. I'm so old, I was on Thatcher's Deregulation Task Force. I fundamentally understand how trade works, how we do business, and the dead hand of European regulation. Unlike what the Remainers say, it's not because I was stupid and ignorant that I voted to leave. It's because I knew more than many of them put together. I knew that Britain could do so much better outside the European Union, but that's not what actually made me come out in the end. Not what made me make that fateful speech at the British Chamber of Commerce, after which I resigned. It was Project Fear that pushed me over the line. The lies, the deceit, the misinformation. And look, it's happening again. Project Fear Mark II. Here we are. Who would have believed it? After David Cameron told us this was a final decision, after he put on the ballot paper, you can remain or you can leave. Just leave. He didn't say we'll have a deal. Just leave. After our deceitful, disingenuous, quizzling Prime Minister, who wanted to remain, negotiated her way into the customs union again, after Parliament said overwhelmingly, we'll trigger Article 50. Despite those things, despite the fact that we actually repealed the European Communities Act, that we set in train a date for leaving, despite all those things, we're facing the biggest betrayal in the history of Britain. Well, we need to send a message to our Patonist, Vichy, Remain establishment in the UK. A message, very simply, watch out, we won't stand for it. We have a great lineup of speakers for you tonight. But before we hear from them, let me introduce, ladies and gentlemen, our Vice Chairman and the founder of Leave Means Leave, Mr. Richard Tice.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's fantastic to see you here this evening. When I founded Leave Means Leave just after the referendum, I naively thought it might be needed for 6 months or so just to give a bit of support to the government. I naively trusted the Prime Minister when she said Brexit means Brexit. Of course she doesn't. She means Brexit means Remain. And here we are, 2.5 years later. We should be full of joy that there's only 3.5 months to go. But we're not, ladies and gentlemen. We face the battle of our lives against the tide of the establishment that are desperately trying to stop this from happening. We've almost seen off the Prime Minister's deal. I'm not even sure it'll ever come back into the House of Commons. We all know it's the worst deal ever in history. Many of us tonight, from the world of business, who on earth would offer 39 billion quid for nothing? I mean, that's not really common sense, is it? Who on earth would want to put our beloved, fantastic nation into a straitjacket and then give the key to the padlock to some foreigners in Brussels? unbelievable. But we know that actually we all believe in Britain. Do we believe in Britain? Yeah. Thank you. So we have a serious job of work to do, all of us here tonight. Everyone watching on live stream, within 24 hours, 100,000 people will have watched this on live stream. We need to convince the people in the Commons and the civil servants in Whitehall that actually the country believes in Britain and that we are quite happy with a world trade deal. It's very simple. No deal, no problem, no money. No 39 billion quid. So we've got a matter of weeks to write to our MPs, to turn up to their constituency surgeries, to say to them, we believe in Britain, we want you as our committed representative to believe in Britain too, and we're quite comfortable with a world trade deal. Because as every week goes by, that's the opportunity. That's the freedom that we cherish. But it is a huge battle, because we've got to win this. And I say to the civil servants and the whingers and the whiners who say it can't be done, there's not enough time, we've got a delay. I tell you what, if you don't think you can do it, please get out of the way and let us business Brexiteers come in and get it done. Because I can tell you, we would work 24/7, 7 days a week, and it would be done, and it would be a fantastic success for our nation.